This will be fun.
We're going to call these first few seconds of us walking in. Nobody will see this on social media, hopefully.
I say why not? Then the flash.
All right. Ready?
No.
Ready? All right. Welcome to Monday Night Sports Talk. I'm Tiffany Williams alongside Stephen Err. Welcome back from vacation, Stephen.
Glad to be back.
And Calvin Bundage co-hosting tonight with us. So, Hollywood Harden.
Hollywood Harden.
You said don't use nicknames, and there y'all go.
How you doing, DJ?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Let's start with the Connecticut Sun UPLA.
Oh,
Been a lot going on over there.
I mean, we can start with DJ on the back of his head was on ESPN, so I feel really accomplished this week, guys. I can't lie. The game was broadcast on ESPN Sunday, and I could see myself sitting. But okay, and on all jokes aside, the Connecticut Sun faced the Washington Mystics this yesterday. They picked up a good win. I mean, by the end, the score was kind of. I mean, they kind of spread out by the end, but it was a very close game for 3 quarters for sure. Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner combined 50 points. So good performance out of the 2 All-Stars who we'll now see Saturday in Vegas. But one more game before then, this coming Wednesday. But yeah, they're on a 2-game win streak now, back home after losing to the Liberty and the Aces, which are the 2 teams in front of them in the standings, as they fell to 3rd place. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, a wrap on
The Aces are pretty much a dominant team this year, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a sense, the Aces.
They lost, what, just 1 game now?
The Aces have lost 1 game. The Aces are the equivalent to what I say is the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. And that's pretty much their team right now, winning the championship and then adding Candace Parker. So it's kind of like I realize with Connecticut, as long as they're not playing any sort of super team, they're all straight. There's no issues there. But New York with Brianna Stewart and Nescu and Jacqueline Jones, they gave them trouble, especially with Brianna Jones now missing. And then the Aces, it's safe to say they beat the brakes off them, not to put it lightly. So after those two tough teams and 2 teams above them in the standings, they've kind of gotten back on their winning ways with 1 more game versus Chicago on Wednesday before the All-Star break.
Let's talk about that All-Star break. Let's talk about that All-Star game. Because I heard you guys a few weeks ago talking about that.
Yeah, we did talk about the Connecticut Sun.
Alyssa Thomas, I think a lot of people are sleeping on her this year.
Very much so. I mean, Coach White post-game said it, like she's having an MVP caliber season. Pretty much, all-time leader in triple-doubles now, putting up the most triple-doubles in the league, leading the league in double-doubles as well. She's second in assists and rebounds in the entire league. I mean, she's doing everything everywhere, and not a starter is kind of criminal to me. But I mean, she's a reserve. She at least got the nod, which that's a small win and the bigger loss. I feel like by her not being a starter. But I mean, the good news is with her and Dewana Bonner, they both made it. Fun fact, actually, they were drafted to Team Asia Wilson, so they'll be playing against their coach Stephanie White, who is the coach for Team Stewart. So I got to ask her about that yesterday,
What did
which
she
was really
say?
fun. Well, she jokingly was like, well, I'm frustrated, and she got giggled, obviously, but she was like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, like obviously I'd love all of us to be on the same team, of course, but you can't do much about it, so we're just gonna have fun, and and it's great to be out that weekend admiring other players. She said she's excited to coach the team she has, and the respect that you have for all the players and athletes, and as they say all the time, it's a tough league to win in and stuff, so their respect for other teams is very high. So everybody on that side is just excited for the weekend, for sure.
Nice. Switching over, Arena football.
Yeah, let's talk about we have Calvin Bundage here, one of the advanced defensive players for the Massachusetts Pirates, the Pirates. Calvin, I hate to say it, but we got to talk about it. It's not looking good right now for the Pirates when it comes to hosting a playoff game. Now, obviously, we won't talk about the Rattlers game because it's the Rattlers. They're the best team in the league right now, in my opinion. But last week, I don't know if you were there out in Prescott Valley, Arizona, but the Pirates at one point went down 37-14. What happened in that game? I must know.
We talking about the Rattlers game or
The Wranglers.
We're talking about
Wranglers
yeah.
game. That was like the winningest game of the whole road trip. And then 37-14. I was like, what? That shocked me. What happened?
Well, for the defense side of things, I think this guys wasn't pulling triggers, making the quarterback make fast decisions to get the ball out, and guys had to pull triggers from all levels and make tackles, and we didn't tackle well, so I think that's what the problem was.
It's a big game this week. You're going against Sioux Falls. They lead the league as of right now with 16 interceptions, so you guys make sure, obviously, me and DJ talked about it a few last week, I believe. We were at DCU practice. how they need to get the ball more to the rookie running back Jimmy Robinson, who's had a great season. What's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, me and Jimmy are really cool. I don't know too much about Jimmy. He's really a quiet guy.
Oh, really?
But
Oh, yeah, that's a surprise to us.
I was like, Jimmy's very open on our shows. He let me know he listened to NBA YoungBoy pregame. I mean, we talked to his mom about his home cooking. That's a shocking.
Cabbage and cornbread and
Cornbread and cabbage. I'm a little shocked that he's a quiet guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that.
Huh.
yeah, I want to see him get more carries. I want to see him do his thing.
For sure. So we talk about the Sioux Falls defense, but obviously you guys obviously we just talked about Sioux Falls. This game, so much on the line right now for the Pirates, so much on the line for the Quad City Steamwheelers, who could get the 2 seed if they defeat the Tulsa Oilers this week. And obviously Sioux Falls Storm have also clinched the spot. But so what do you guys need to do on defense to get a victory and bring a playoff game back here to Worcester?
Shut down the QB run.
There you go.
That's
Shut it
where it
down.
starts from. Without that, they can't set up any other pass plays or anything like that. Stop the run and make them pull the trick up their sleeve, and we'll get the win for sure.
So as we mentioned, the Massachusetts Pirates were down 37-14 at one point after the half against the Northern Arizona Wranglers, but they only lost by 5, 37-32. DJ Yano, you watched that game. What did you see? What happened with the Pirates in that game?
Well, that comeback toward a sort of, it wasn't a full comeback. Definitely seen by the QB switch there for sure. I feel a little mean to be that guy to say it, but I feel like QB switch might be in the works possibly. I feel like the way that they played that first half, or at least something there. But also, I don't know if it's just me that's noticed.
I think we can go ahead and say it. I think that Russo was the mistake that the Pirates made.
I didn't want to be that guy. I was like,
Let's not
Don't
hold,
be that
let's
person.
not
okay, we should.
let's
not
slice
sugarcoat it.
let's
Let's get it
slice
out
the bread because the
Let's-
bread needs to be
all right,
sliced. You know,
let's cut the bread and put some butter on it. Let's make us some toast.
Russo shouldn't have been in there. Benefield should have been in there. Gable also shouldn't have been in there. Somebody else should have been in there for Gable.
Well, for me, with the quarterback for sure, I find the confusion where Benefield comes in right before they go on the road.
Right.
He comes in, has 3 touchdowns, looks perfectly fine, and then basically has not been seen until the fourth quarter of this game, where they score and make it go from down 37-14, so about what 20-something points,
20,
to
23
down,
points, yeah.
5 in 15 minutes.
Right.
I don't understand why we didn't make that switch earlier. But I'm not trying to. I was trying to not to come off too
No,
mean,
yeah.
but I guess we just gotta throw some punches.
You
Well,
gotta
also I question the whereof of Anthony Payton. I've noticed I've not seen him on the sidelines there too, so I wonder if that may be part of it as well, and not just trying to throw it all on Russo, because it is a team sport at the end of the day, so you can't just put all on him. But that's another factor. I wonder if with Mark Stout over there calling the plays instead of Payton usually out there on the field, 20 yards back where they are, if that also has a part in it.
How early would you have liked to see the switch?
From the beginning of the game. I think that it was known the last game that Russo was probably injured. The way he was nursing one of his, I think it was left ankle, or left.
Well,
he was nursing.
For me, the
So I would've-
switch.
yeah.
I feel like the switch should have happened. Like, they never should have been a switch back. Because when we talked to y'all last, and they were last here in DCU, Benefield plays 2 touchdowns. Like I said,
Yep.
going into the road trip. I don't see why he does not just stay there and stay hot. Also too is that thing where nothing against Anthony Russo, but Benefield's already been here before. He's been in the playoffs. He was on that team that won the championship. I don't see why we don't just plug him in. Because at the end of the day, Benefield was here to start in the beginning before he got.
Yeah, but you can't just because somebody's been here from the beginning doesn't mean
But I feel like
you can't use that as a.
but he was a starter before, and then Russo was meant to replace him as he's injured. Now that Benefield's back, I don't see why.
But we also don't know if Benefield is a full 100 right now too. Just because he may look good doesn't mean he is a.
Full 100, not his
Yeah.
whatever percent you want to call it.
He was throwing like a full
Definitely,
100.
I'm like, if you don't want to call it a full 100, whatever that percentage is looking better than what we got out of Russo. Possible.
You
100.
mentioned we were at DCU practice last week, and I had asked Coach Stout. I was like, because you guys were at the Tulsa Oilers game, I wasn't there, but Benefield came in at the end of the first quarter, he played the rest of the game, threw 3 touchdowns. So then I asked I asked Mark Stout. I was like, well,
Didn't even bring one in for a touchdown.
I was like, is there a quarterback controversy going into Arizona and gets into the Rattlers game? He's like, oh, we'll see what happens. And he basically, well, he did tell me that he's going to most likely start Anthony Russo. He did, and nothing against Anthony Russo. I mean, come on, we talk about
Yeah.
you were talking about.
He's
You know, she was only supposed to come in for Alejandro Benefield because he was injured.
But
But
he did
then he
well.
threw 9 touchdowns in one game, 8 touchdowns twice. So kind of understood why they put him back in. But now, you look at it, the Pirates are, unfortunately for Calvin here, the Pirates are on a 2-game losing streak and could lose it on a home playoff game that they could have clinched 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago.
I think from watching the Pirates in the first season up until now, the Pirates are come from behind team. They could be down, losing 2 games, and guess what? They're gonna come back and bite you in the ass.
No, we will see.
You cussing?
This is a big week for all the teams out in the Eastern Conference. The Pirates need a win, and they pray for the Tulsa Oilers to defeat those Quad City Steamwheelers
So
to get the
real
2 seed.
Quick question. So even if Massachusetts wins, that is not guaranteed them second now.
I do not believe so because Quad City and the Pirates have they split the season series 1 game apiece. Obviously, the Quad Steamers came here. The Pirates won't beat them on May 20th, and earlier in the season, Pirates went out to Illinois and lost to the Steamwheelers. So I'm not sure exactly how that works out. But
I was like, because basically my question was who has the tiebreaker in this?
right, I'm not entirely sure about that. Maybe Calvin, do you know who has the tiebreaker between you guys and the Quad City Steamwheelers?
I have no idea.
He has no idea. So there you go. I mean, nobody knows. It's a wait and see. But again, we are hoping that the Tulsa Oilers can pull off the biggest upset of the year.
For all
One
purposes of transparency, I'm not betting on the game.
The 1-13 Oilers need to take down the Quad City Steamwheelers, and the Pirates will clinch the 2 seed and host the playoff game on July 22nd. If not, if the Pirates and the Steamwheelers do win, we'll have to see what happens. If the Pirates lose and the Steamwheelers win, well, the Pirates are heading off to Illinois again for the first round playoff game on July 22nd. So, yeah, that's all I got. And just have any final thoughts here on the Pirates. Next game against Sioux Falls Storm, obviously.
Who's your pick for that game?
We can't pick that game, DJ. We are allowed to pick that game. We're not calling it.
I mean, we pick NFL games,
Yeah,
so why can't we pick?
we're
the
not calling
Pirates
the game,
games?
so we can't predict the game. I'll go first.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, we can?
We're not
Yeah, we
calling
can.
the game,
We're
so
not-
we
we're
can
not calling
pick
the game. We can't predict the game.
No, I thought you were trying to catch me. I thought you were
No,
trying to
no,
catch me
no,
lacking.
seriously.
You catch me lacking. I was like,
You thought the ethics committee was watching.
I was like, they not getting me. I was like, I don't know actually.
Oh, damn.
Don't forget a linebacker over here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cal. I don't know. Because it's that thing where you said they lead the league in interception.
Yes.
And Russo versus other teams already has thrown picks, assuming that he might start again. It's a little hard to quick gun. I mean, I obviously trust Gillum in that defense, even though and especially we got players coming back, and I feel like that defense has been very well. So I definitely see them winning. It's just hard. It's just a little hard and a little hesitant to just pull that trigger, especially with everything that's on the line. I don't know. Also, though, quick note. I'm looking at the IFL standings, and they have Massachusetts over Quad City with the same record. So I think it might be a win in
Okay.
game kind of thing.
All
I'm
right.
hoping.
Well, I guess
so.
we can go with that for right now. The Pirates win and they clinch the 2 seed, but they have to defeat those Sioux Falls Storm on Saturday night out in South Dakota.
Who are you picking?
Ah, man, this is tough.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Especially
I'm
we got a linebacker sitting here next to us. I don't know. I mean, it's like
4 guys just sitting here watching us all be like, I don't know if you can pull it off,
I
man.
know,
Like,
but unfortunately, based on these last 2 games, and to build some drama here in the Indoor Football League as they wrap up the regular season, I'm going to go with the Storm. The Storm they're the 4th seed. They're going to be going to Frisco, nonetheless, no matter what happens. But if the Pirates do lose, and then we hope for the Oilers to pull off a huge upset against Quad City. I love chaos, bring on the drama here at the end of the season. So I'll go with Sioux Falls in the upset victory. And then we'll see
You
what
are
happens.
definitely a drama queen.
I was like, you are starting stuff.
Donna Summers, right? Yeah.
No, don't disrespect Donna like that. I went to that disco.
So
Don't
listen,
do her like
I'm gonna go with the Massachusetts Pirates, but I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 47-32 game.
that. Oh, you trying to
Wow.
predict score? See, I'm just
No, I
gonna
was-
Stone Cold. Just go. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm just going.
I'm gonna go. Pirates.
All right.
I think
I think that
honestly, what you said with the come from behind thing, I'm like,
I think that from watching the team, like I said from the beginning, since the very first season, Jawad's always got something up his sleeve too.
Yeah.
You can look at the coaches and watch what they do, but Jawad's always got something up his sleeve. He might even bring a player in this week that you would be
Yeah,
like,
you never
hold
know.
on, where did he go? I think maybe you mentioned that when we were at the Red Sox game. Where does he find some of these players? He'll go out and find some of these players from literally nowhere that nobody's ever seen, and be like, wow, this kid has a.
Right.
Look at the interception Calvin had that one game too. Calvin, you know what I'm saying? So, but not to gas him up, but I think that anything can happen with the Pirates. Jawad's always got something up his sleeve. I think defense has to be aggressive though. I don't think they played that aggressive on Sunday, but I think also you have what, 2 new people on defense, or three new people on defense. So.
Yeah, they're always getting new guys.
So I think they'll have a week to get ready too, and then I think offense is going to be straight. So yeah, I think it's going to be a Pirates game definitely.
I had no idea that Russo was hurt.
No,
But the thing with the quarterback switching, that you have to be careful. Like if you want to go someone, you have to go with that person, and then if you switch back to the original starter, then it could create like lack of confidence in players. So
Very good point
true.
there. Very good point.
it's a very good point.
I'm wondering who's going to start the game. That's interesting.
I was gonna ask Calvin, who would you rather have start the game? But
No, don't do it.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go there.
You try to get it cracking.
Somebody.
No, but I know Calvin's focused on
End
that.
up in Sioux Falls, someone's gonna be waiting at your door like, yo, what'd you say about me? Why you trying to start stuff, Steve?
No, but I know he's focused on the defense doing their job this Saturday against Sioux Falls. They got a big test ahead of them as they look to once again host the playoff game here at the DC Center in Worcester on July 22nd.
All right, let's take it back here, and let's talk a bit about some NFL stuff. I'm gonna call both of you out.
All right.
Maybe you can pitch it on this one. Who do you guys think the #1 quarterback in this season is gonna be?
Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
What question was that?
That's
Think
so
it's
obvious.
Mahomes,
It's
really?
obviously
It's
Mahomes.
Mahomes by a
It is
landslide.
100%
Now, ready?
Mahomes.
Here's what we're gonna do.
No, let him go.
It's up and down.
It's a landslide. We both said
That's it.
Mahomes.
It's Mahomes. That's
Ready?
it.
You going Mahomes?
I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you.
Really? Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
Yes.
Of all people,
I mean-
Joe Burrow.
whoa, wait. I hope that's not in that order there, because everybody knows Joe Burrow's number 2.
Oh yeah, but I'm just
100%.
saying.
Okay.
Joe
I'm
Burrow's
about
number
to
two.
say.
But I'm just saying, any of those 3, I'd have gave you.
I think people are sleeping
I mean,
on Aaron
A-Rod,
Rodgers. Yeah, he's right.
he is coming off. Before last season, A-Rod did have back-to-back NFL MVPs.
Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams. That's what saved his career these past couple seasons.
I mean, you could make the argument that he did have Devontae Adams, but
All I'm gonna
he also
say
won
is-
back-to-back MVPs.
I'm
So,
gonna say, Steve, you saw his last season without Devontae Adams.
oh yeah, I mean, he was the best
hiding some flaws
visible
in that
season for
man,
sure.
and no one realizes it.
But you see what the Jets have too. They got Garrett Wilson. I believe it's
We
Garrett.
got a couple
Garrett
new
Wilson.
weapons.
You know what?
They got Aaron Lazard's there.
I'll give you that they're gonna look better than the Packers for sure. But I'm like,
Oh yeah, sure.
But I'm just, the best in the league is that's a stretch.
Yeah, it's- I
They're not
mean-
even- I don't even see them winning their division. over
Oh,
the
no, of
Bills.
course
That's
not,
why I'm like,
no.
how you gonna say he's the best quarterback if they're not even gonna be able to beat the Bills in their own division?
I mean, I can give it. I can
think
credit
you're
Aaron
sleeping.
Rodgers.
I mean, it may,
I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have a good season.
because I don't see it.
All right, so let's go from quarterback. Who do you think the best receiver
I want
is
the
going to be?
running back. I want
I'm going to get the running back.
Receiver.
Hopefully Jimmy Robinson's in the league by then. Like a walk-on for the Patriots.
receiver. Who do you
Oh man, this is tough.
Because to me, it's down to 2. I just want to see where you.
The only one I can really think of is Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals. He's the only guy I can think of. He is electric. He is
did it
such an
to me.
electric receiver.
I knew he was
That
gonna
man
do
is
it.
fast. That man has hands. That man is incredible. I just don't think there's anybody on his level, and that includes Devontae Adams.
I disagree with you. Jamar Chase is number 2. Justin Jefferson's number 1.
Oh yeah, I can't
Justin Jefferson.
really disagree with Justin Jefferson as an
down
electric
to 2, and I
receiver.
was like, all right, it's one or the other. Where do you
I'm
go?
just a big Jamar Chase fan. I love him. I love that T. Higgins is also staying in Cincinnati. I love it.
I mean, T. Higgins' best number 2 receiver in the league.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
That's a conversation. There's no
And now we bring the question over to Mr. Calvin Bundage. Who is the best receiver in the NFL?
Right now, I would have to say
Drum roll, please.
I'm going to have to say Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, Justin Jefferson. All
But
right.
I like the kid from I like Flowers from Baltimore.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's gonna.
Zay Flowers, the
Oh, yeah.
rookie.
Oh, we're like, best rookie.
Zay Flowers was actually in Worcester this weekend.
Oh yeah, he was from.
He
He
went to Boston College,
played at
right?
Boston
Well, no,
College. Now with the
he
Baltimore
was
Ravens.
at the grand opening of VIP in Worcester.
Okay,
So,
there you go.
I bet
Thank you to him.
Actually, Zay Flowers looks good, but I feel like everybody, the kid that went to Seattle, Jackson Smith in the G bag.
Yes.
I think
Oh, my God, yes.
I think he might sneak in there. And
Oh, yeah, he's gonna have a
number one,
monster
not number two.
season.
I think he will.
Seattle won that draft.
I-
We
they
talked
really-
about it after the draft.
they really
Seattle
did.
won that draft. Devin Witherspoon, the top corner, went number 5. That was surprising, but I love the pick for Seattle.
Yeah.
And then they took the receiver. Oh,
Well, I mean,
I just
especially with
love
them
that
having
draft for
Kenneth
Seattle.
Walker as a running back, and they
Right.
re-signed Geno, which actually, I mean, I can say this now because that's months ago, but I met a personnel guy at the draft. I mean, at the combine when I went to NFL Combine, he pretty much sort of was like, yeah, like we're definitely trying to get Geno if we can get him for like the right price at this point. And, I mean, that's months ago, so I don't think that's any breaking news now.
No.
so I'm gonna switch it up on you. Y'all give me your best receivers, right? Who is gonna be the best slot receiver?
I mean, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like what's the first slot receiver.
I mean, would you consider Tyreek Hill a slot
And
receiver?
that's what I was like, 'cause I'm
I mean,
like-
that's all I
I'm
can
like,
think
'cause
of.
I'm like Tyreek kills in the slot. Like, is he considered a slot receiver?
Yeah, I mean, he's the fastest guy in the league, not by far. I know you said Jamar Chase was a fast guy, but
Yeah, I'm like thinking.
I mean, they call him Cheetah for it. They call Tyreek Hill Cheetah for a reason. That man
in
is
this
whoop.
sense, if you're picking 3 receivers,
Fast.
I'm like, I put Josh Jefferson on this end, Jamar Chase here, Tyreek in the slot. That's why I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep,
that's there.
around there.
I like the kid from the Jets.
Garrett Wilson,
Or Elijah.
Elijah Moore.
I like Elijah.
If we get to running back, I know some of them disagree with me. I'm already ready.
Well,
ready to go.
Sticking with receivers. Who do you think the best outside receiver is gonna be?
Justin Jefferson,
Yeah,
you already answered that.
I mean,
Best
I still think so. Yeah.
receiver. Just give me my thing.
He's ready to talk about running backs here.
Because I know someone's going to say something else besides my answer, and then we're just going to
So
going toe-to-toe.
let's call it like this. We'll switch over to the defensive side. Who do you think the best linebacker in the league is gonna be, and why do you think that person?
That you got to think about that before I. It's not like a clear-cut answer.
I'm a big fan of Fred Warner for San Francisco.
You know,
That's the
That's
first
like-
thing that comes to mind is
like
Fred
I was
Warner.
like I thought Fred, but I was like I feel like there's someone else my brain would go with, but I'm like I can't think of.
I can't
like
think
my
of
brain's trying to think of
linebacker.
who-
No, it's got to be for me. It's got to be Fred Warner.
Yeah, Fred's got to be up there.
It's the only thing I think of.
Well, because also then like, my question is like, what is like Von Miller and Khalil Mack and them considered? Are those considered defensive
Oh.
ends or are they considered like outside linebackers? You see like the confused. That's why I'm like best
I
linebacker.
consider.
Defensive end.
Defensive
Yeah,
end
the ends,
officially?
yeah.
Okay, so then, yeah, it had to be Fred Warner because that was the debate in my mind was like 'cause I know sometimes they have those outside linebackers. I'm like who's
No,
so yeah. Then if it's just, we're going middle linebacker, then yeah, Fred Warner. For
I
sure.
didn't like the way he played in the playoff games. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
well, yeah. They're well. I mean, I feel like San Fran kind of they beat Dallas, which was kind of I feel like that I saw that coming because Dallas has made the conference championship since the '90s. So
right.
long before I was born, they was already never been back. So I kind of and then they fell apart against Philly. So
And that's what happens when you have 3 quarterbacks play, and
So we'll go back to quarterback. Who do you think the best rookie quarterback is gonna be?
CJ Stroud.
I've talked about this before. I'm not a fan of Ohio State quarterbacks because they wind up being absolutely nothing in the NFL. They do nothing. Zippity doo dah. I don't want to hear about Justin Fields. 10 straight losses. Call to me when he wins a game. All right.
Okay.
So
all right.
I am not.
I told you there was gonna be some debating on this show.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to C.J. Stroud right now, but I'm hearing
Stephen A.
I'm hearing in camp he is killing it in camp right now. But we're talking about camp.
The disrespect that
Bring
Justin
on the
Fields-
preseason. By the way, I don't know. I'll mention it now. We are 25 days away from the preseason. That's when I can't wait to see C.J. Stroud. That's when I'll know if he's good or not.
I just want to put to you. You realize Justin Fields is definitely the second best quarterback in his draft class behind Trevor Lawrence, right?
It's a bad draft class.
Yeah, I mean you have Zach Wilson and Mac Jones behind him. It's not hard. Not much. I guess not. A
Yeah,
high
it wasn't
level
the best
beat.
draft class.
But I'm like, I mean, I feel like we're the disrespect on the Justin Fields train is going crazy on your end there. But I feel like it's CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I feel like only because I feel like everybody's expecting Bryce Young to do it, and I think that's what's gonna be his. That's what CJ Stroud's gonna have going in his corner. is that everybody's, Bryce Young. He's gonna just secretly sneak up there. I feel like he's gonna do well. And the thing with Houston is too, they got Dalton Schultz with a tight end. Damian Pierce was a great running back. Like they have a lot of stuff. And then they trade and got Will Anderson for the defensive end. I think the Texans are they're gonna secretly make a little noise.
They're going to be much better than last year.
They're secretly gonna make some noise in that division, especially with the AFC South.
The whole AFC, besides Jacksonville, the whole AFC South is trash. For God's sake, Malik Willis, the guy from last year, is outperforming Will Levis, the second-round pick from. I forget where he went to college, but
Malik Willis a real chance.
No,
they really never. They just kind of drafted him because they felt like they had to. Because
I hyped him up a lot,
my
but
thing is
it didn't work out too well.
My thing is when you don't even have him ever throw the ball and then try to force him to throw on third down. You're setting him up for failure. I feel like. At the same time, when you have the best running back in the league, Derrick Henry,
Well, to answer the question, who's the best rookie quarterback, I'm going on a complete limb right now when it comes to the question. And everybody's going to think, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, yeah, the Packers have Jordan Love, right? Well, you know who else they have? Sean Clifford out of Penn State.
I was really afraid
I'm not hoping that Jordan Love gets benched, but if it happens, I look forward to seeing Sean Clifford play for the Green Bay Packers.
And start. Jordan Love is crazy. That poor guy hasn't had a chance yet.
And another quarterback who I'm sure Tiff will love this.
Don't say Zappy.
I'm betting everything I have on him eventually starting this season.
Bailey Zappi?
Taylor Heineke is going to take over the Falcons, and it is going to happen. And he's going to lead them to the division title. Yes, because the division sucks, but come on, Taylor Heineke led the Commanders to the playoffs.
Hold on, real question though. So Marcus Mariota is out of there, right?
Yeah, he's long gone.
He's in Las Vegas. I always say Oakland. He's in Las Vegas with the Raiders, right? Yeah. Well,
he was with the Falcons last year. Now he's nowhere.
I think he's in Vegas actually, but no, Garoppolo's in Vegas.
Garoppolo's in Vegas, yeah.
Oh, well, he's gonna start then. His competition is Desmond Ridder.
Exactly, and he's going to light it up just like he did in Washington.
Listen.
I can't wait. That's like my biggest take of the year.
I am the first to admit that my team is probably one of the worst teams in the league. But I think y'all are going to be in for a surprise in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I said that a couple of years. I said that a couple of years ago, too.
We also act like the Patriots are not going to come in last in the AFC East for sure. I hate to break it to y'all people, but...
Marcus Mariota didn't pan out?
You mean Mac Jones in New England? He's not panning out.
No, I'm talking about for the Falcons. Yeah.
Mariota left the Falcons.
It didn't pan out. You said it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Sheesh.
They were he was so mad he literally left the team in the middle of
in the middle of the season.
I don't know if he left in the middle of a game or the season, but he was gone. He didn't tell anybody he was leaving. He's like, bye. He just left, disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him.
Wow.
He was that upset with the Falcons by what happened.
He was so bad
because they put in Desmond Ridder eventually, and he was like, wow, this sucks. So he just literally left the team. No words, nothing.
Man.
Was he doing average though?
I don't know where he is now. He's a free agent as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I'm saying before he got benched, was he doing?
He was doing fine. But the Falcons are the Falcons, so that they had to make a change.
Well, hold on. See,
and he got upset. So
Matt Ryan was doing average, and they kept him for a long time.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna actually say that. Please tell me you're not gonna do that. Just go.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I can't really comment on the Falcons because my paycheck comes from the Falcons. So, but I'll let y'all talk trash.
Let's ask Calvin here. What's your favorite NFL team?
I like the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, there you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't match y'all earlier. I didn't match you good. So, is that what I think you're gonna do? Come on. She has a picture of Aaron Jones. I dare you to say that's the best running back. So I can.
That's a tough question, honestly.
How do
you mean? That's a tough question.
Because my article on CBS Sports, I actually did the top 10 for each position, and Aaron Jones was number 8.
So who's your number 1?
You have to read my article.
Yeah,
well, let's show me. I need to know.
All right. Well, the question is here. Let's ask it, DJ. Who is the best running back in the NFL?
Derrick Henry, King Henry, and there's no answer. There's no other answer. There's nothing else there. There's no argument whatsoever.
He tiptoes too much for me.
He tiptoes too much.
Tiptoes. How dare you disrespect the king? I am sorry. This man here literally you realize in a sense he's pretty much like barring a broken foot.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically put up 1,500 in 4 straight seasons. Are you serious?
I mean, he's
and he's doing this on the amount of carries and the production. He's still being consistent. Josh Jacobs had one good season, and now watch him fall apart and disappear this year. Bold prediction. He's not. It's nowhere. He leads the league in rushing. He's disappearing. The only other one I might give you is Nick Chubb. Besides that, there is nobody else. Saquon Hurtley, as I call him, or I should call him street clothes, because he always got something wrong with him. McCaffrey's overhyped. They had the one season of 1,000 and 1,000.
Hold on, why is McCaffrey overhyped?
Because McCaffrey had 1,000 and 1,000 season 5 years ago. They're still trying to act like he's one of the best running backs in this league.
He's number one.
he's just always hurt. That's the problem with Christian
Are
McCaffrey.
you serious?
Christian McCaffrey's just always hurt.
graded
That's
him
the
number
problem
one.
here.
I graded him number one.
Yeah, don't look at the stats. Watch with your eyes.
Okay, I mean, call me the I don't know.
But I will give it.
I don't know. But
I will give it to you. I did say Derrick Henry number 2.
that's
So-
the answer.
I mean, the Titans were looking to trade
Catch
Derrick
the
Henry
ball,
earlier this
everybody's
offseason.
like,
So I mean, kind of tells you how the Titans feel.
Dude's been injured and he's been injured and barely plays 8 games every season.
I'm starting to think you're his publicist.
It might be. Shoot, I'll claim that. I don't care. I'll claim King Henry. I don't care.
There you go.
I'm just saying. I feel like people really be hard. Like, oh, he just gets a lot of carries. That's why he's good. I'm like, but he's consistently taking that load. I mean, he basically ran the Titans to an AFC Championship at one point. I don't understand. One of 8 running backs have 2,000 yards, but everybody's like, oh, he just gets all the carries. That's why he's good. And I'm just like, I feel like there should be no debate here. But that's just me.
No, there was a point that the Titans were looking to actually trade Derrick Henry, which blew my mind. I was like, why
Well, in a
would they look
sense,
to do that?
Knowing that besides him, they're a bit of a dumpster fire. So I think that was more the let's cash out.
You were not wrong.
I mean, given that he plays a position where it's not supposed to last too long, they were kind of let's cash in while we can. I was really hoping the Chiefs would take him. I feel like the Chiefs, if they traded him, that'd have been the last.
Oh,
piece
that
of
would
the
have
super
been
team.
wow.
Because
Oh,
at
but
that
that would
point,
be something.
every time they play Mahomes, there's 2 deep safeties. Now think about you give Derrick Henry 4 people on the actual offensive line, and not Tennessee where they. Because that's my thing too, Cal. This man be running with like 9 people in the box, and they know that he's getting the ball, and he's still getting 4.5, 5 yards to carry. Like no one else is doing that,
Yeah,
especially with that offensive line.
yeah.
Come on.
I think it's really good that he can do that, but I think that's last of a dying breed. I feel like the running back position is in the future is gonna look more like a slot receiver. Like
I give you that for sure. He's definitely the last of a type of running back for sure. I mean, because every other running back, he's the only running back that never gets really sent on routes or screen passes.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, when you can do that,
the future running back is gonna look like Debo Samuel. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna be the running back people's gonna have on the
okay.
team.
I agree with that.
That'd be interesting.
That's a good.
You're gonna have to know how to catch, run routes. Like
Yeah, no, there's that. I feel like every system's gonna start using 2 running backs. There's not
Yeah.
gonna be like, in a sense. I've said before, if Derrick Henry doesn't catch any of these records by Emmitt Smith, he might just hold them forever to the end of time because they're not really running the ball like that no more.
All right, so let's switch it over. Who's the number 1 tight end?
No, I mean another no-brainer is Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay, I was like,
I mean, everybody,
hey,
my friends like to make the
George
argument.
Kittle, but,
Right, exactly. Like,
that-
he's not Travis Kelce. Ain't no way.
Hey, respect to Darren Waller and Mark Andrews to round out your little top 4 or 5.
Right, exactly.
But I
I
feel
mean,
like we know the
Put it in
answer.
perspective. If Travis Kelce goes down, the Chiefs are done. If George Kittle goes down, they still got guys. They got Brandon Ayuk. They got Debo Samuel. They got guys. They got Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
They'll be
they got
fine without
the
George
number
Kittle.
1 running
The
back.
Chiefs are not fine without Travis Kelce. There's no way.
Especially after they trade Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think, if anything, Travis Kelce's importance has only improved in value.
Oh, yeah, for
with
100%.
the
No
absence
doubt
of
about
Tyreek
it.
Hill.
He's much more important now without Tyreek Hill.
Disagree with both of you.
Oh, boy.
My number 1 pick was Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Gaslight.
Well, there you
Here
go.
we
Okay.
go.
There we go.
She be
How about
gaslighting.
that?
I be trying to tell people she be gaslighting.
Who would be your number 3?
Number 3 tight end?
So what I say, I go Kelsey, Kittle, and then I go Darren Waller.
No, you're sleeping on somebody. Come on. You're
I-
sleeping on somebody.
I feel
Okay,
I know
what?
what she's
I feel
talking
like
about.
the answer you're gonna go with, my heart wants to go with, but he technically did nothing last year. and Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
But that
There
would be
you
my
go.
number 5. I'm like Andrews is number 4, but only because he just
Oh yeah, I mean,
because Kyle Pitts wasn't getting targets like that last year. I was like, no. But like him getting Pro Bowl last year,
Yep.
like if he'd improved on that, he'd have been my number 3 for sure.
I went with Andrews number 3.
I was about to say, why y'all think Andrew's so low?
Yeah.
I honestly, I feel like I don't know what. Actually, I don't have like a concrete why I feel like Waller's 3 and he's 4. Like you probably could switch him and I wouldn't even like hard argue that. I just feel like personally my brain. Well, also I feel like just because like Lamar Jackson don't be throwing the ball like that, it's kind of like
Right.
my brain. Like I don't got enough like this is why. But in a sense, like Kelsey's number 1, Kittle's 2. I feel like you can flip flop them
Yeah,
at 3 and 4
sure.
if anything. Like it's not like a hard like
Andrews and Kelsey are definitely security blankets for the team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely
Andrews
are,
is a big
for sure.
contributor to that Ravens team. By the way, you talk about Lamar Jackson don't throw the ball that much. I've been doing my real research on Ravens. My best friend's a Ravens fan, so I look up on it a little bit.
Ravens aren't that bad of a team.
No, they're not. They're about to be. They might even be a better team this year. They have a new offensive coordinator. I'm not exactly sure who it is, but Lamar Jackson was talking about they like do more. They like split the pass run game 50-50. It's not. He's not running as much
Yeah.
as he was, and they're on like mini camps and stuff. So it's going to be a new Ravens offense. Obviously, they have also Zay Flowers, the rookie out of Boston
thinking,
College.
yeah, him and
OBJ
that.
is in Baltimore, and you got Andrews.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a brand new. It might be a brand new Ravens offense coming this year. I'll be very excited to see how they do.
Like, yeah, we really could have a great pass and attack coming out of Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean-
we'll see because that thing too, where like everybody looks good on paper, but we gotta see how. it happens.
Mar has had his issues with accuracy too, but I want to put that all on him.
Yeah, sure. You
So,
can.
another piece of news here for the NFL. I don't know if you guys saw this. The Rams looked to trade Matt Stafford this offseason. They tried to, and I'm not mad about it at all.
How far did they get with that?
Yeah, I was not bad about it at all.
I don't think anybody wanted that.
DJ over here talking about Christian McCaffrey's overrated.
Maybe
or
the Albany
whatever.
Empire should have signed him.
Matt Stafford is overrated. I don't want to hear
Yeah,
it.
no one brought him up, so I couldn't make that claim.
I
But
mean,
no one brought up for best
12
QB.
wait, 12 years in Detroit, no playoff wins. Oh, he won the Super Bowl though. Yeah, because this receiver was the MVP. You know what? Matt Stafford did. He threw 20 picks during that season, the most of the league. Terrible. Get him out.
Which you also know what Matt Stafford had? Possibly the greatest defensive tackle of all time.
Exactly.
Aaron
Aaron Donald, too.
So let's go there. Who is the greatest defensive tackle right now?
Aaron Donald.
You just said of all time. That right there.
No, right now.
But I'm saying
All
if
time.
Aaron Donald's up there for all time,
Okay.
I think ideally that would put him as the best right now.
No, yeah, for now, for sure.
So
I think you're sleeping on somebody.
Who? I gotta know where you're.
What you gonna say?
I'll go ahead. I was about to say with linebackers. So you pick Fred over the kid from Baltimore?
Patrick
Yeah.
Queen? I was
No.
thinking. Not Patrick. Oh, Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in Chicago no more. Dude.
Right,
You're
sorry, he got
right.
traded- he got traded to the
Those
Ravens.
are the other two people I was thinking of, but I was like,
To me, it's been mediocre linebacker play. It's not a linebacker that stands out right now. Not
Yeah.
a stand up at least.
yeah. I'm like, that was the thing. I'm like, there's not
And
someone
that's
that
for
like,
the last couple years.
in a sense. I mean, because like Bobby Wagner was for a long time the number
He
one
was
guy,
holding it
but,
down,
but
for sure.
at this point he creeping on 40. I mean, it's not the
He's
same.
getting up there.
Come on, Brady was like Brady played the what?
No, but Brady learned how to keep himself healthy and just
Yeah,
stay in the
Brady
pocket.
did everything possible.
Brady basically learned how to keep all this right here healthy and did nothing else. Brady
yeah.
was running and taking hits like respectfully. But that's why I feel like Cam Newton never panned out in New England because they went from having Brady who just like I'm gonna stand here and throw dots.
Cam Newton didn't work out in New England because New England has a. We all know it. Come on.
What?
Trying to leave them alone for that part.
Say it.
What, that Cam Newton's their second black quarterback ever, and their first one, Jacoby Brissett, who was only
In the practice squad?
who's only on the practice squad. Wait, but then here's making better. He only ended up playing the one game because Garoppolo got injured and Brady was suspended for, let me not.
Patriots sound like
So
they're
I'm like,
a Tom
in a
capsule.
sense, Cam Newton was their first ever black quarterback, and I feel like they've never dealt with that or scrambling before.
The non-NABJ media did not like him, so they sent him packing.
See, I wasn't.
I think I put that as politically correct as I possibly could.
I just wasn't trying to do that.
You know?
'Cause I don't want nobody coming for me.
I think that as NABJ reporters, it's our job
You're right.
to make sure that we represent
You're right. We
accurately
Well,
report on our
off
athletes.
that topic,
So
let's
defensive tackle,
Aaron Donald.
Eric Donald.
Moving on next.
Yeah, so
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams.
Who?
Tackle.
Yeah,
Offense tackle.
right. Offensive. Yeah, he's an offensive tackle, isn't he?
Trent
Well, I'm like,
Williams
why are we
offensive
talking about?
So yeah.
We
Do,
talking
do you
about
like
defense.
do you like him though?
Yeah, Trent.
Oh yeah,
I don't
he's
see. I don't
Do you think he could be a switch?
like? We mean a switch.
Like he can play defense or he can play.
Trent's an offensive tackle. What are you talking?
You wouldn't switch him.
He's,
I like to switch players around sometimes. Yeah,
I mean, sure. If you're playing in like the IFL or the NAL where they do Iron Man, sure. But when it comes to Trent Williams, we're gonna just
NFL
get
Street. You know, yeah.
NFL Street, right?
Like, this is
No, we keep it at Trent
You
Williams.
wouldn't try him out at
Tackle.
defensive tackle.
I mean, I wouldn't. Not in the NFL game.
I try him at a tight end.
Oh, really?
Ooh, okay,
That would be interesting.
okay.
I think he could pull that off. Actually,
I mean, I would love to see that for sure, no doubt about it. That would be something to see.
I think he could pull it off. I think he could.
All right, so
So if you want to know the top 10 for every position in the NFL, you can go to CBS Sports, or you can go on Atlanta Sports Journal and read my article tonight
yeah,
at 10 o'clock. Literally the breakdown of every position in the league and who's the best from 10 to 1.
Be warned, it's a little debatable though. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
On your running
I
back.
had a little help too. So.
Well,
All right.
that help.
Not from an intern.
That help was not accurate on the running back position.
so like,
I had some help from my Pirates. So.
I want to bring this up. We mentioned we are 25 days away from the Hall of Fame game between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. It's going to be.
Go Jets.
We're that close to the NFL season. And while we have Calvin Bundich here, I want to ask him while we have him here, who is your Super Bowl matchup and who is your Super Bowl champion?
Ooh.
That's a wild time to start.
No, we actually do
No,
it.
we will talk about it
do
earlier
it every
later
year.
on.
Oh.
But while we have him here, I'm going to ask him
Oh, that's a lot.
his matchup and his champion. No,
We
we will
usually
get
do this
to it in
every
another
year,
show. We have time here at New Stock, New England.
Whoa.
Yeah, we have time here. But I just want to ask him.
Hold on now.
God, I'm thinking here, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't want to say anything stupid. I have no idea.
I mean, all right, that's fair enough.
I feel like it's too early.
Too early. It's never too early to make Super Bowl predictions.
Is it the Falcons?
I like to make Super Bowl predictions right after the Super Bowl's over. And that's how I go. It's just picking the Atlanta Falcons to go to the Super Bowl.
I
They're
said
going
the
to be in the
Falcons.
7th seed in the NFC after winning the NFC South. I like to be the 4th seed.
My
My bad.
prediction is Patriots Falcons battle for last place. That's already.
Oh,
Yeah, battle for last place is probably right.
No. The Falcons are going to be the 4th seed in the
Battle for first
NFC,
pick.
and they're out in the first round. That's it. The Falcons are going to win the NFC South, then they're out in the first round. That's
No
it.
way. Panthers.
No.
They lost DJ Moore. Who's their number one
What?
receiver now? They don't have one.
It don't, it,
But
no, the team
it don't matter.
has a stable quarterback. Heineke, Ritter, whoever.
Heineke.
It don't matter. James Winston. Look,
James Winston.
Hey, look, Jameis. I respect you. You're probably a great human being, but no. And then Tampa Bay.
They're going to be the second worst team in the league. I guess.
As people in my family say, I don't trust Baker Mayfield as far as I can throw it.
Exactly. Tampa Bay's going to be the second worst team in the league behind Arizona. Arizona's going to be the worst team in the league.
I don't know. I thought the Patriots were going to be.
No, they're not. They're not going to be bad as Arizona or Tampa. There's no way.
Might be creeping in there.
No.
Who do you think the opening day starter is going to be for New England?
Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be Mac Jones.
Yeah, of course it's going to be
I
Mac
don't see
Jones.
why it wouldn't be, but you know.
Of course it's going to be Mac
I'm also the
Jones.
guy who wanted Justin Fields instead of Mac Jones in that draft, but you know, some people don't like Ohio State quarterbacks to this table, so he's probably like, I love Mac Jones here, but you know.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Alabama quarterbacks either. I mean, not a lot of them have panned out. Greg McElroy, he was
Ohio and
a
Alabama
career
quarterbacks
backup.
Jalen Hurts, no.
I'm talking about back in the day. Now Jalen Hurts is one of a kind. I mean,
So is Justin Fields.
even Tua out of Alabama is like, I don't know right now because if you've seen pictures of Tua lately, the man's put on 100 pounds. Like, God,
He's out of shape.
he's very much out of shape. So it's not just the Ohio State quarterbacks; it's the Alabama quarterbacks as well. So,
So what quarterback college do you trust? Like,
I mean, I gotta get back to you on that. Not really Clemson either, because I was.
you don't trust Sunshine in Jacksonville? You know he looked like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Stop playing. You know Trevor Lawrence looks like Sunshine from Remember
I
the
mean, I remember back in the day, talking about Clemson quarterbacks.
I don't
was
watch
banking on
movies.
Kelly Bryant to do something, and Kelly Bryant did absolutely nothing, and he's still doing nothing.
So,
So,
who do you think the number one HBCU player in general, overall, is going to be?
That's a tough question.
You probably don't even know HBCU
I'm like,
players.
you're throwing,
I know. I know a couple.
I let you two
I
into
was like,
this.
I gotta take some research before I can just make a bold statement like that. Now that's well, you know. Well, also then you got the issue. My heart wants to lean Howard because I go there.
Bison Pride.
But I can't. I can't do that. I just, well, you know, my immediate answer was, but I don't know if it's still valid. Technically, would have been Sanders, but he's in Colorado now, so he don't count, right? Does he not count? Because
No, it does not because Colorado's not an HCBCU.
But
It's just
he adds
just
that is what he said.
it's a D1 school.
HBCU. Like,
HBC. What I say? HCBU.
you like
My bad.
What was the question?
You like HB, ABC. yeah.
Who's the best or number one HBCU player in the league right now?
Oh, yeah. I have no idea.
That's what I said. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a hard question. Like, I gotta do some research to make
Exactly.
a claim like that. I think be like, who's the best player in the ACC? I don't. You know, hold on now.
No, that'd be Drake May, obviously. Quarterback, North Carolina. He's going number 2 overall.
Played there. Right?
He's going number 2 overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year after Caleb Williams goes number 1 to Arizona.
You think so?
Caleb Williams going number 1 to New England.
The Patriots are not going to be that bad.
Nope.
Come
Caleb
on.
Williams going
They're
number 1
not
to New
going
England.
to be that bad. They're not taking a quarterback 2 years after
Greg
they take
Popovich
back
is getting
Jones.
his Tim Duncan. Bill
I mean,
Belichick's
well,
getting
yeah,
Caleb
we-
Williams number 1.
We talk about that as well, actually. We'll switch over to the NBA now.
Great segue. Let's
The
talk
great
about
segues.
Wemby.
Yes, the San Antonio Spurs picked Victor Wembanyama with the first overall pick.
Say
That
that like
was
10
obvious.
times fast because I couldn't.
And after just 2,
You want to see that? Isaiah Thomas from NBA TV called him Victor Wembanyama, and I crack up and say,
well, after just 2 summer league games, the Spurs have shut him down for the rest of the summer league.
That was a bit prima donna-ish.
So I gotta ask our guest co-host here. Do you know anything about Victor Wembanyama? I'm slurring my speech here. And what do you think about him?
Yeah, I've seen the last 2 outings he had. I just think it's a different game that he has to pick up. I think he'll be fine. I think people are jumping too early on him, but I
Okay.
think he'll be okay.
Well, Calvin, I'll tell you, as I often say to my friends from college, we are in a very much it has to happen today society with sports.
That is so true.
Because I said the same thing we argued with Boston Celtics when they were like, "What do we do about Jaylen Brown?" I'm like, "We keep him, guys. We 4 conference finals. Like, let's relax here." I'm like, he had 9 points. I'm like, it was his first game. I do admit though, as somebody, whoever Wemby's publicist is, you got to get my man, because the way that he was in that first press conference, I said, I don't know what I was doing out there. I said, why would you say that out loud? I was
It's almost like
That was crazy.
I was like, why would you say that? Like, you don't tell nobody you don't know what you was doing. You just be like rookie struggles first game ever, getting adjusted to the different, because between French and like the
Yeah, it's
French
different.
leagues and FIBA.
I
It's
don't think
different
he has a
rules.
publicist though, and I think that's the problem though with like a lot of athletes is they don't have a publicist or a PR person that works for them or does damage control with them, just in case they do say something off the rip, like that. So,
He shouldn't have said that.
They get one when it's too late.
yep.
Yeah. But he'll be fine for sure. I mean, he's going to get some adjusting. I mean, as long as he can stay healthy, I feel like the sky's the limit for the kid. On the other hand, the Celtics pick Jordan Walsh has really been panning out. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. But
Who the
he's doing something
Who the
he's been doing.
Celtics?
Huh?
Who the Celtics?
The Boston Celtics.
So let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Well, actually,
from
let's
Atlanta.
actually
Love
I actually want to
Atlanta.
stick with the Celtics for a second because
All
I
right,
heard
let's stick
something.
with the Celtics.
I heard that it was Brad Stevens. Was he the general manager now?
Yes.
For Celtics, he says the Celtics are looking to do something seismic. And the one thing I heard, and have your minds blown, ladies and gentlemen. Next year, not this year, but next year, the Celtics could potentially go after Giannis.
The free agency?
Free agency, they can go after Giannis. They would trade away Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, get a few picks, and they would go after Giannis next year. It's a possibility. Just keep your eye out for that. Because if that happens, Causeway
that's
Street's
a-
going to go berserk.
That's a far fetch.
Far fetched, but it's again. This
that's-
is potentially next year, not this year.
I don't know.
We
I don't
keep
think
your eye
that.
out. Just saying, keep your eye
Brown
out.
and Tatum for Giannis is crazy.
Keep your eye out.
That is absurd to trade away both your stars for just Giannis.
Jaylen Brown's not gonna stay in New England or Boston. I'm sorry.
They're gonna-
Because his thing is, so as an athlete, you want to look for where you can create your brand after your time playing, and he already said it. He can't create his brand here in New England or in Boston. So he's going to look for someplace else to go to eventually.
Why does he feel that way?
It's just not a. I don't know actually. That's what he's.
Record?
Yeah, he said it during a press conference. He said it to Zolak.
Really?
Yeah, he said it to Zolak as well.
Well, now I'm panicking.
Um,
He's got a little hearing that statement. He's
Sticking
trying
with
to get it
the NBA free agency here, Damian Lillard. Obviously, he is
I mean, he's not going anywhere now.
His heart is-
but eventually.
Damian Lillard's heart is set on going to the Miami Heat. The Blazers are like, we're not going to work with you, which I don't understand why they wouldn't. He's been so good to them.
Well, the issue is with the Lillard trade is Lillard's agent has basically called everybody else and been like, "Don't you dare touch him. You're gonna get a disgruntled star. Like, let him go to Miami."
Yeah.
But the issue is in the trade package is that the Blazers. I mean, you're giving up pretty much one of the best players in your franchise to exist besides Clyde Drexler. One or the other. That's your 1 and 2. I feel like they're trying to get definitely a good return. They want some picks. They want some players and stuff.
Sure.
And basically, what Miami wants, just trying to give up and still keep their team together, the Blazers don't want, and that's the issue.
Now, the latest thing I did see on Twitter, I don't remember, I think it was Kevin Lowe, I think his name was, that reported this. There was a talk about a 3 or 4 team trade, and one of the things was the Heat would trade away Tyler Hero. I don't think they should do that. I think Hero's a big part of that team, but that's a possibility. They trade away a few draft picks to the Blazers for Dame, as well as Tyler Hero. That's something else to keep an eye
That's
on.
the other thing I realized is like the Heat are trying to make Hero like the big like blockbuster key piece.
Yeah.
And the Blazers are basically kind of like we don't need him.
All right.
So I think that's the thing too. I think that there would be a need to be a third or a fourth team, like someone involved to take Hero and then just swing the Blazers.
Right,
for
exactly.
More picks and like lower level players that they can get to rebuild and fully commit.
So I'm going to ask Calvin here, this is again our guest co-host here tonight on Monday Night Sports Talk. If Dame Lillard winds up with the Miami Heat, how do you think that team will look with him and Jimmy Butler and if they still let Bam Adebayo? What kind of team would that be out in Miami?
Sloppy.
I think they have more weapons than what he have in Portland, so
Yeah,
I think he'll be able to. He's a vet, so he'll be able to get those guys up and get them up to speed, and he'll be better off than when he was in Portland.
And you mentioned, the Trailblazers are looking to get pieces. They just drafted Scoot Henderson, so they're looking for him to be the next guy
What
up.
just happened to your voice?
I got something here.
Interesting. Anyway,
You sounded like the lady on Lean On Me.
anyway.
Sorry, folks.
I firmly believe that the Heat, if they make this trade and trade away all their people, will basically be a reject version of Phoenix, where they got a bunch of weapons, no salary cap, no bench, and they're just gonna be a hot mess.
Do you follow the NBA?
I do.
You must.
that is
You must play basketball, son. You should try something else.
that's a hot take.
That's a very hot take.
It's a very
I
hot
like it,
take.
though.
It's
Hot
steaming.
take.
It's steaming hot. It's
Steaming
burning like a
hot.
little furnace over here.
Boiling.
I don't
I
care.
mean,
Boiling. Temp on high, 106 fever. I
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
But
God.
I don't.
Wow.
This is Monday Night Sports Talk, people.
I'm just saying. I know that. Look, my take is hotter than July, like Stevie Wonder album. But I'm just saying, I don't. I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs. Don't get it twisted. Like they're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh, yes,
They're gonna make the
100%.
playoffs, obviously, on that town alone. But in the long run, as the season goes on, and we're playing deeper teams in 6-7 game seasons, it's gonna be how Phoenix was this year, where it's gonna be like once we get close enough, once we start getting close enough, and it's coming down to crunch time. I mean, because when they played the Nuggets, the Sun basically was like, unless Devin Booker and Kevin Durant each have 40, we lose. That's basically what these two teams will now be. Especially with the Heat too, half their undrafted superstars all peeled off in free agency. So like right now, their bench is looking a little thin, and if they try to get a little, they're trading whatever is kind of left of it. Anyway,
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
DJ, do your heart thinks the Miami Heat will be a hot mess if they trade away some of those players, including the possibility of trading away Tyler Hero in exchange for Damian Lillard. So, wow.
that's gonna be the marquee. I'm gonna see my face on a poster like this kid's.
That's gonna be me. That's what's gonna happen.
All right, let's go back to football. College football.
Oh, I was like,
No, college football.
Get to college.
What's your take?
Georgia's gonna be good again.
yeah.
They always have a stacked quarterback room. I'm not sure who their quarterbacks are now, but they always got somebody And it'll be interesting to see who steps up for Alabama, because I remember watching like when Bryce Young was the backup. I was like, oh, can't wait to see this guy play. And he wants to be the great guy. Same with Trevor Lawrence. I remember saying the same thing about Trevor Lawrence when he came in. I was like, oh, this kid's gonna be a stud. Look at him now. He's about to win his second consecutive AFC South Division title.
It's the sunshine.
Yeah, so we'll see how Georgia does a quarterback, how Alabama does a quarterback, but I think they're both going to be on top of the SEC this year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and we talked about earlier, Caleb Williams out of USC and Drake May out of North Carolina. Michael Penix Jr., he's with Washington now, the Huskies, but I remember watching him in Indiana. I was a big fan of Michael Penix. Then he got hurt, tore his ACL. Now he's doing well with the Huskies, so it's going to be a great college season, full of talented quarterbacks.
I think it's gonna be a really great college season. But first, what are you gonna say? I see you raising your hand.
'Cause I was
Why
like,
are you
I
raising your
don't
hand?
want to cut nobody off, but I was like, I pretty much got about 4 things to say about college football. Like you said, Georgia's gonna be pretty.
Well, hold on. Say that.
Save that. Okay. Can I say number 2?
No.
Okay.
So, definitely Georgia Tech is gonna.
Georgia Tech.
I'm just
Georgia
joking.
Tech.
They haven't relevant since 1990.
So listen, I think HBCU. We're gonna see how we do some things this year. I think that Fordham is gonna have some good stuff going on this year too. And then Holy Cross is going to be a really good team to watch out for this
Okay.
year. I mean, they could have went so far last year. They lost that last game. Like, they just dropped the
close.
water on that. But you were saying Georgia what?
Okay, like Steven said, the Bulldogs,
No.
the University of Georgia,
No.
will be good.
We don't know who they are in Georgia.
Okay, boo-hoo. Anyway, against Atlanta over there. Also, like Nick Saban is NBA version of NBA Greg Popovich and NFL Bill Belichick. Those are the 3 so don't, as much as everybody's like Alabama's there every year, you shouldn't doubt Alabama. Bold prediction: Caleb Williams will win back-to-back Heisman trophies.
Okay, I mean, I
What about Oklahoma?
can't disagree with that.
Oklahoma will be behind. They'll be behind, I guess. Also, my other bold prediction: I think Deion Sanders, University of
I
Colorado,
don't think he knows.
if not this year or that year, or not this year, then next year will win their conference. I think Deion's going to turn Colorado around.
Okay.
Also, I'm not stupid. I know he went to Oklahoma State.
Okay.
He's trying to stir up the pot. That's why I just said I ain't going to say nothing. She's trying to be messy, and she thinks she's slick.
What do you think one of the outstanding colleges is going to be?
What was the question?
Some of the outstanding colleges in football.
I'll have to do my research.
Hi, DJ.
Hi, DJ. I just gave an answer. Don't try that.
I'll tell you one that we haven't talked about is Texas. I mean, they got not just one, they got 2 very talented quarterbacks. And Quint Ewers, the Ohio State transfer.
I just
I've always
don't
been a
like
big
any
fan of
teams
his.
in Texas. I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the whatever that other team is. I just don't like anything from Texas.
I mean,
Okay, talk about Texas quarterbacks. All right, say the name.
yeah, so Quint Ewers, he is projected to go number 8 overall next year's draft, according to ESPN. And then Arch Manning, the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, is also a Texas. He's a freshman this year, so he probably won't see much playing time. But next year, 2024 season, we're seeing the next Manning.
You think he's gonna get drafted as a sophomore? Like what?
No,
hold on,
I'm
what?
saying he'll start at Texas next year,
Yeah.
2024. He's a freshman this year.
Yeah.
He's not going to start. So once Quinn Ewers goes to the draft, it's March Manning.
You really think he's a good player?
That's why I don't buy it with the Arch. I don't know what it is.
I think he's a name. That's what I
If you
think.
look at his high school stats and what he's done in high school, I mean, the kid is
Yeah,
amazing.
but high school and college are 2 different things. You
It's
kind
fine.
of.
It's fair.
Sir, some of the high school legends they were that did not pan out in college and college to the NFL. I mean,
I mean, you played good basketball in college, didn't you? I mean, I'm sorry, high school.
That's gracious. I played good basketball in high school.
You made 2 shots, right?
I was like, that was gracious.
Could you play for the Bisons?
No,
No.
not at all. Y'all, look.
Just because you play good high school ball doesn't mean you're really good. You're going to be
That's
good.
fine.
at
First of all,
That's fair.
I thought we're being real gracious with good high school basketball. I wasn't horrible. I was more of an emotional leader than a.
I was trying not to do damage on you on there.
I'll be honest. Like I did not pop up on the stat sheet. I I was a hustle player. I had that Marcus Smart. Like I boxed people out, and I was taking charges and stuff that like stuff that no one put. Like I averaged 5 points a game. 5 points a game in high
Wow,
school senior
5
year.
points a
Yeah,
game.
I wasn't dropping buckets. I was not one of them.
They actually put a few extra points, but it was
They
two.
might- they
It was
might
like two.
actually- it was actually 3.5 unweighted. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. But like honestly though, it's that thing where
I don't
feel
think
like-
I don't think
Yeah.
this Manning kid. I think he's
All
overrated.
right, so
I see him like I sort of see Bronny James in a sense. I see Bronny James not as bad as Arch Manning, but I see him in a sense where it's like I feel like without the name, you'd still be pretty decent, and with like I feel like you might be able to find a way there. But the reason why you're on everybody's radar and doing all this stuff
'Cause of
is
his name.
because of your name. So
Speaking
until
of-
he's in the NFL, like. You know,
all right. Well, I guess we'll see what.
like, in a sense, until he's in the NFL, you know, living up to the names of his uncles.
Sure.
Even though I feel like Eli Manning is a little overrated, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's another show.
That's another show. That's another show in 2007 that we're not having that I missed because I was 3. But until he was on the field living up to the names of his uncles.
I was literally just thinking Bobby Pig when you said that.
No,
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
But anyway,
But,
yeah,
yeah.
Arch Manning though, until he's in the NFL throwing touchdowns, like living up to the name, I can't buy in.
That's fair. We're supposed to, obviously
Why
this
do
year.
you think he's
Yeah.
so
What
good?
makes you buy in so early? I'm curious.
Because first of all, he's a Manning. You got to buy into him. I mean,
Casey,
I know Manning bias. Sorry,
say
ladies
la
and
vie good
gentlemen.
night.
No, but I mean, I looked up his high school. I saw some film. I saw his stats, and he was actually a very good high school quarterback. He was a 4-star quarterback coming in now. He's at the University of Texas. Again, he's not going to start this year. He's not going to play
I
this
was a
year
good receiver in high school.
because
I mean,
Quinn Ewers is the starting quarterback for the Longhorns. But when Quinn Ewers goes to the draft next year, it's Arch Manning time. People are giving me. Even right now, Texas is sold out for the first time in school history. All their home games.
they're sold out because of the name.
Because
Because they got the nephew of
That's fine, but I mean, we'll see. I hope we see Arch Manning sometime this year. I just think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen at all.
I'm just loving like the more he talks, the more I think he's proving our point with the name.
All right, well, Calvin, we're here to talk about Arch Manning. Obviously,
He's
this
calling
is
him
the
back up.
nephew of Peyton and Eli. Do you think he's going to be following in the footsteps of his uncles, or do you think he's going to be more like their father, who played back in the '80s for the Aints?
No, I don't see the athletic ability that his uncles have. I don't see the arm strength.
I'm on an island here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on an island. I'm the only one that believes in Arch Manning.
You thought you were calling it back up, right? A heavy hitter.
He thought he won that. He's a 2-on-2, yes sir.
I'm the only. That's all right.
I was just telling DJ, you can be, like I said earlier, you can be a good high school player.
Sure.
I,
That's fine.
I was a good third baseman. I was a good receiver. But did I do good at Howard? Hell no. It's two different things.
No, I mean, I get it. I'm just hyping him up, that's all.
Yeah. Well, actually, I do want to pitch it somewhere else. To take another sport we haven't talked about yet.
Table tennis?
God, no. MLB, the home run derby tonight in T-minus about an hour from where we're recording this. I don't know when this is released, but I'm excited because, I like watching people smack home runs over the fence.
Oh, yes.
As Tiff is so put it to
Home run derby is different. That's
The other
different.
day, baseball's about contact. And,
It is.
And basically, she wants Cedon Rafaela to go back to Double A after having
Yes,
the
he needs to go back to Double A.
week of his life. In
He needs to
Triple A.
learn how to make contact. He needs to learn about discipline at the plate.
You know what's crazy? And it's the part where I'm like, this is real wild, though.
'Cause he hit-
She was interviewing, like, you've had a great performance today. And I was like, how you gonna talking in the booth behind dude's back like he ain't got no contact?
That was day one he was
I'm
there.
just saying.
That wasn't day two. You see how? So when that day that I said that, I didn't interview him at all. So the night before, he had a good performance. You went down and you interviewed him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but she's all great.
but I didn't
She had
interview
a
him.
great game. How'd you feel about the performance? And then she's on the next day like, oh, he don't got no contact. Like, also, my thing is, I'm
Because
just saying,
the first night he was there, he was good. But if you're gonna go and just go up to the plate and try to make homers all the time, I don't think you're.
he's not aiming for homers. He's swinging.
If you look at the way he's swinging for a home.
I mean, okay. But here's my thing too. And then the other point I was trying
And
to
Chad Tracy even said it.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying the kid does not have his contact, his discipline. His discipline. He's definitely swinging. He's swinging that strike. And
If you want to get to the majors, you have to have discipline at the plate.
that's what he's here to work on in AAA. That's why I don't understand why you're trying to bash on him.
Send him back to Double A.
He went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and a double. And she's like, he needs to go back.
He
Like,
needs to
I'm
go back.
confused on that part. But we had this passionate discussion in the booth. We'll cut it here and say that.
But didn't he hit a double after that?
Yeah, that's the best part. She's like, he has no contact. He doesn't even hit a
And
double in 2
he must have heard me trash talking him.
Yeah, and he heard her talking to her smack.
So-
He hit 2 doubles. And it's like, how you like them apples? That's definitely what he did. But my thing is, and what the point I was trying to make is like, yeah, Manager Tracy definitely was commenting on his discipline and his contact, and it's definitely not where it should be to get to the majors. My thing is, if this is him at his worst with this, hitting 2 home runs and a double in one game, hitting 2 doubles in the other, that's a pretty good place to start. That's all I'm saying. He's home run or bust, but he hit 2 home runs the other day. That's not a horrible place to start, in my opinion. Also, according to Tip, I didn't play baseball, so I don't know. Same like Calvin, I don't know about football because I ain't play about tiptoeing my man King Henry. So it's cool. I'm the guy on the couch who just has comments right now. But it's cool. But anyway, the home run derby, where we were going before we went on our tangent and my little rant about Rafael.
What do you think is gonna be?
Whoever wins out of 3 versus 6, Vlad Guerrero or Mookie Betts. That's my pick. Whoever wins that
Mookie,
matchup.
yes.
Eric,
Okay.
people be down on my man Mookie. The thing is because he got that secret power. People don't realize that he can put it over the fence because he don't always put it over the fence. But he knows how he can really do it. And I think out of him and Vlad Guerrero, whoever wins that round.
So I remember when Mookie Betts, side story, when Mookie Betts was here in Boston, 4 a.m. in the morning, we had like so much, like a bunch of food and stuff like that we made. We made like oxtails, curry goat, all types of Caribbean food that we made. And we went out and we left all the food down by the library so the homeless people could have it in Boston. And so yeah, that was pretty good. I like Mookie Betts.
You're right. That was a side story if I ever heard one. But that's a very good character arc there on Mookie Betts. But yes, does anybody else have any home run derby predictions, or is it just me?
No, I got no predictions. I don't even know who's playing in the home run derby because I'm not that baseball fan. But I do know, I don't know if the ESPN does it anymore. They have Chris Berman commentating on the home run derby, and every time that somebody home run, like people be like back, and God, and you going crazy about it. That's my favorite memory of the home run derby. It was Chris Berman doing it.
Well, that and then Ken Griffey with the backwards hat. Even though that was before my time, I do like that. I do like those pitches of him with the backwards hats that he plays with.
What do you guys think about? Because, by the way, welcome to Atlanta Sports Journal. To the people that are going to be watching on Atlanta Sports Journal.
I was like,
And
no labels.
no, I'm just saying welcome to those folks there, and welcome to New York City Sports Journal to those guys that will be watching us too. But Ozzie and Washington, the relationship between the player and the coach, have you seen that?
I have not.
I forgot you're not a Braves fan.
I was like, I'm sorry. Well, also too, when I've been covering AAA like I am day in and day out, I've kind of forgot about the majors a little, which is a little unfortunate. Only thing I can comment is if you're in the AL East, good for you.
Exactly.
If you're in the AL Central, what are y'all doing?
Exactly. I was about to bring that up too.
Ellie De La Cruz in Cincinnati, not where this will be posted, but he's a monster. He's got the power and the speed. He's stealing 3 bases an inning and hitting 455
Yeah, how about that?
foot home runs. So, I mean, there you go there. In that department of my baseball knowledge,
There you go. I mean,
I definitely think if not the Dodgers, the Braves will make the World Series though. And in the East, I don't. My brain, the 2 people that are doing well, that I don't want to give. Are you trying to show me with loud volume? Aldi's.
Yeah, so DJ made
That was a rookie mistake.
DJ brought this up. I'm glad he brought this up. I was going to bring it up myself. Every team in the AL East, as we head into the All-Star break, is above 500. The Rays, Blue Jays, Orioles, Yankees, and the Red Sox are all above 500. Meanwhile, in the AL Central, I believe the Minnesota Twins are leading the AL Central.
Actually, right this minute, it's the Indians at 500 exactly.
So the Guardians are at 5.
Oh goodness, look at me. Woo, the
Yeah, so
Guardians.
I knew the lead. I knew
sure enough did.
the leading team was at a
sorry,
500
don't
record.
cancel
I knew that much. I knew the leading team was at 500. So that's a
cancel me,
it's a
America.
tale of
Sorry.
2 different divisions there in the American League. And DJ, trying to think about who would represent the AL in the World Series. It's got to be Tampa Bay. They're the best team in the league right now. Yeah, they're the best team in the league right now.
I just, as someone who's from Massachusetts, I don't want to be that person, but please God, not the Yankees.
As a Yankee fan,
I
please
was
God, the Yankees.
I was at Yankee Stadium yesterday. I had a
were?
really great time. I'm not a Yankees fan by
am.
any means, but I think they sucked yesterday.
Yeah, they're on a slump. They fired their hitting coach. Aaron Judge
Part of my
is
French tonight, by the
injured,
way.
so it's a
know,
lot
you
going on with
just-
the
I'm
Yankees.
just like, I don't.
Sailing like a sailor. You worse than my kids at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm just kidding. I ain't saying that. I love my kids, but they're watching. I love y'all. Anyway, keep going.
So yeah, Yankees fired their hitting coach. Aaron Judge is injured. It's not going well for the Yankees. But they got this though, and
I think
I'm
for
gonna
the
rub it in
first
their
time in my
faces
life, I
right
can
now.
actually say the Mets are better than the Yankees.
The Yankees have a 1-game lead over those Red Sox in the AL East. Just saying, putting it out there. They're 4th and 5th in the division, but Yankees have 1 game ahead of the Red Sox. So I don't want to hear it.
Respectfully, the Red Sox ain't been good since Mookie Betts left. And we all,
No, you ain't wrong there
Oh
either.
God!
we all know it, unfortunately.
What's your take on baseball? Hit 100.
He got
You can
nothing here.
Hold on, you can throw 100, right? That's why. Did I?
Yeah, you throw 100, right?
Yes, I'm waiting.
Let's talk to the pitching coach in the
Yeah.
in the clubhouse.
He was trying to get it. He's trying to get it.
Patiently waiting on my bullpen.
He wants the
patiently
bullpen
waiting.
start.
I was waiting on you to switch over to MMA.
Oh,
Oh, he wants to talk some UFC up in here.
All right, let's make that switch.
I thought
No, let's let him go.
Yeah, let him
Look,
get.
it's like
This,
Calvin
this is
Calvin.
I can't get much hope on this side of the table.
it's your segment.
I thought Volkanovski proved that he can handle a dangerous fighter. That's wild but disciplined, and he can stay disciplined and finish a fight, kind of like John Jones. So he's a GOAT, I feel like.
Well, I mean, with very little UFC MMA knowledge I got, I feel like John Jones is definitely like one of the best fighters.
Oh yeah, sure.
But you know I don't got much. I can't even really. I can't make a claim. I can't make much of a claim there. It's not a strong claim, but I feel like from what the little I've seen, like he's definitely.
Basically, Volk proved that he's going to come out with a win. Even if it's ugly, he's going to win.
There you go.
Go ahead, Cal. Look at you. Your little segment. Go ahead now.
Yeah. Steven, your take?
I'm with DJ here. I don't follow much of you. I don't follow the MMA or UFC, anything like that.
So
but
if Tammy was here, Tammy would go a full.
I do know there
hour
was
on
a
MMA.
big fight out in
She's-
Vegas this weekend. So glad we were able to touch up on that a little bit.
Top 5 boxers.
All time.
All time.
Now.
Oh, I got nothing. Floyd Mayweather, a boxer.
You're probably gonna say Ken Ball, right?
That's all I know. Floyd Mayweather. That's all I know is a boxer.
I was thinking the top 5 boxers right now: Devin Haney, Jermaine Ortiz, Ken Ball, and like what other boxer guy name? It's like I just like name 5 boxers. That's what that would be. Name top 5. Name 5 boxers.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing.
Y'all don't like combat sports?
What about Lomachenko?
Yeah.
Lomachenko's pretty good.
Ortiz should have won that fight though against Lomachenko.
I mean, I was
I watched that one.
I was at that fight,
I watched that. I think Ortiz
and I do gotta say that Ortiz. I mean,
I think Ortiz won.
he was the better fighter. I'll say that.
Ortiz should have won.
He's in. Matter of fact, he's in Dubai now.
Ooh, go ahead, Jermaine.
Yeah, Jermaine's over in Dubai
He's a
now
club kid.
training.
I remember for me that's always fun because I remember being when I was like 6, 7 when he was up there training in the boxing room. So,
Y'all talking about the Devin fight?
no,
Lomo and Ortiz.
versus
Okay.
Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think should have won that fight?
Lomachenko. I thought Lomachenko won the Devin fight too. The Devin Haney fight.
Oh yeah,
also.
that was recently too. Yeah,
Wait, what happened? Devin Haney?
yeah, Haney won
Wait.
against
Who
Loma.
am I thinking? No, who am I thinking of? Oh,
Oh, now you want to go back on Jermaine, right?
I'm tripping. You know when I said Devin Haney, who I was thinking of too? That's how you know I don't know much about. I was thinking of Tank Davis or Javante Davis.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of him when I said Devin Haney. That's how you know yeah.
You better really hope that Jose Rivera from the board of directors is not watching this segment because he's gonna be like,
He's gonna thank me for interviewing him.
he's gonna make us all go like to a show like to watch boxing. I mean, we've covered boxing. Have you covered boxing?
No, I have not covered boxing.
You did boxing broadcasts at
That's why I was like, I
Palladium.
don't
Palladium.
know.
I think I've done 10
You
local
guys
and
done a
then
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, you've done a lot. I ain't done nothing over here.
So,
It's
you
not- I
ever
got-
had nothing about the Errol Spence and Bud fight?
I literally, I've never been like one Like, cause mind you, like all transparency, I started this internship 6 months ago. So like, if anything, it'd have been in that time, and in that time, I've been doing the Mass Pirates, Woo Sox, Connecticut Sun, and like keeping up on like all the other stuff. I've kept up like football and.
I'm gonna get a call tomorrow. Why have you not allowed DJ to do boxing yet?
From who?
Did you hear about the
Rivera?
Errol Spence fight?
Come get me, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I haven't like, but like before then, when just as a kid who was just watching sports, I never was one. Well, also I just thought all boxing was pay per view, and I was like, I ain't got no money to pay for pay-per-view. So that was a part of it too. I mean, like some of those like those ESPN rerun fights I've watched of like Tyson and Ali and like some of those, but that's not relevant in this conversation.
Like
So,
Mayweather and
yeah, like I know I've seen clips and stuff, but like that's why I was like, of all time, I can give you a little bit of noise, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But like currently, like what's happening? Yeah, I'm in the weeds.
so you know what you gotta do for an assignment tomorrow?
Yeah, you probably made me look up some boxing, ain't you?
You can do a one-off on boxing.
Okay. I can do one off on Jermaine Ortiz.
Cause you know Jermaine because he's a local boxer.
Yeah, he's a club kid. I can do.
He's a club kid.
I can do one off on Jermaine. What? That's about all I can get. You know. That's
Who's your top?
I have Tank, Errol Spence, Gypsy King.
who? Gypsy King. That's a name right there. Is that his actual name? Or is that like the ring name thing?
His actual name is the white guy, heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
I forgot his name. I call him the Gypsy King.
That's why I was like, there's no way that dude's actual name is Gypsy King.
I thought you were gonna break out with like Muhammad Ali.
I wanted to. That's why I said all time.
As I asked, if he said
I was like, all time?
if we were gonna talk all the time, for sure it's Muhammad Ali's got to be
Yeah, I
up
was
there.
like,
Hey, what I was saying Muhammad.
butterfly stay like a bee. These hands can see what these eyes can't see.
I think that's the
Rumble,
only.
young man, rumble.
I think that's the only boxer that young kids nowadays even know.
No, we all know about Tyson Chu and that dude era.
Okay,
Right.
Tyson. I'm
And
sorry.
then before Custom, then he was good with Customado. So yeah, I know.
Wow.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Boxing is
boxer.
dying.
No, what's oh my god.
It's becoming more of a
My man, no,
popularity
you know
thing.
who's gonna be
Yeah.
up there for me? The Brown Bomber, Joe Lewis. There you go. That's another one. See, I know a couple people now. Don't play.
I need some tissue.
You get yeah, whatever.
The only thing they can save boxing is if they become one organization.
Them and UFC and all them people. You know?
Yeah, and they have to take away all those weight classes. They have to make it kind of like the UFC is now.
Or just everybody fight everybody.
Yeah, that's old.
We got
That's-
beef. We got beef. We settled.
It has to be more organized.
That's what I like about the NYPD Smokers. You got beef with somebody from the NYPD Smokers, so it's boxing within the NYPD, but also like people from other organizations. And you never seen boxing in the MSP does it at the Boys Club, at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, look at
So I don't want to get canceled.
Ooh, you might guess like we call it the
But
other name.
there's no weight classes or anything like that. It's like, okay, you're from the 6th precinct. I don't want to call you out. We're gonna fight. The next smoker, we fight.
Even though I feel like you shouldn't call nobody outside your weight class. I'm just gonna say like
Why not?
because that's you asked her to die.
Didn't David fight Goliath? Yes.
That's why I was like, my brain was like laughing. Like, what if somebody by side calls somebody like Calvin side? They get toe up. Like, that's the first thing I thought when I saw you at Polo Park. I was like, this dude huge. I was like, man, I'm small.
Hollywood Harden
Hollywood Harden.
and Bondage.
Daryl Hollywood Harden.
Have you seen the Martin episode when he was boxing?
You know who else I realized was huge on the Pirates when I first talked to him? Wilson Bell. That's a
Yeah, he's huge.
That's what palmed your head.
yo. He palmed. Yo, that's the scary part. He palmed my head. And the sad part, like, that's be that person, but like, I got a big head. Like, I do. It's not no act. Like, I got a pretty decent sized dome for my.
He's not
size.
talking about his ego. He's talking about his head.
Yeah, no. Head is definitely bigger than my ego. And like the fact that he took my head and basically like was like, oh, it's a basketball, was just like, oh, that's scary. Like, well, that and then he tried to like fake tackle me, and I was like, Wilson, you too big to be playing like that. You about to send me through this wall. But shout out to my man Wilson Bell. I love my guy Wilson, but I was like, yo, that's the fun person. I was like, he interviewed, and I was like, yo, this dude is huge. Also, the funniest part of that interview, I got shout out our guy Sean because he was laughing at me because you had the 4 chairs set up for the panel. And what
Did you see
happened
that?
was, did you see that, Steven? They had the 4 chairs up for the panel. And what happened was right before we went to film, I realized that Zeke Ezekiel Rhodes and Wilson Bell sat on the end chairs, and I was like, well, I gotta
They
make the shot.
each took up one chair.
So one chair,
And
so I
you
had to
see how
center-
big
so
they
I-
are,
so I had
right?
to center I had to make the shot centered, so I had to sit in the middle of both chairs. So if you look hard enough, I'm sitting in two chairs. Like, both
got
of
this
these
skinny dude sitting in two chairs.
6'2", 300-pound dudes are sitting in one chair each, and here I am, 5'10", $120, just like in two chairs, like hello, and I'm like, who allowed this? And I was just cracking up laughing, cause my dad was like, why would you? I was like, it was a quick decision. I just jumped in the middle of the chairs, was like, go, let's get these out.
We're blaming on Jemai. He was production.
I hope Toby is okay though. Yeah.
Toby, he got injured?
The D tackle from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pirates.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. I hope he's okay too. He did go down in that game. You're right.
I like the way he is able to get off blocks and make plays. I'm ready to come back and him be in front of
Yeah,
me.
yeah, with you.
Yeah, that would be.
Who's that number one player like that you look for in the game? Like, he's beside you, he's in front of you. This is who I know I can go in and go to war with.
Yeah, I like guys who play really fast, get off blocks, and know how to make plays for themselves. And like, I like the defensive line when they're pass rushing to be able to get separation off the guy and make plays on their own. As forces like running stunts and having to get sacks. And I like guys that can get off blocks. Like, get the person off you, get free. And that makes my job a lot easier.
The amount of questions for him that just popped in my head when you were like, "Who your favorite?" Like,
Listen, your one-off article is going to be, because he has to do a one-off article on you this week.
On who?
On you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
So-
Got told about that about 5 minutes before airing. So
About this upcoming game?
it's just the
No, just about you in
on
general
as a
and-
yeah. So I guess tune in for that, folks. Coming.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Coming soon.
Can't wait to read that.
Coming soon this week. We get to the movie theaters. Coming soon in theater near you. Like this is
Just make sure it's better than what I wrote. But you don't have to do pros and cons and stuff like that. So you're good. Boxing, football, Celtics, Patriots. Wow.
baseball, Red Sox, home run
Baseball.
derby, WNBA.
Let's bring it to minor league baseball. You've been covering a lot of minor league baseball. You actually went to a game last week for the 4th of July. And you've been on MIA, but you've been covering some
I've been doing
some
few games
baseball.
here and there for sure.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, what's your take on the Worcester Red Sox right now?
We've heard my take on Rafaela, and we've heard your take. We won't open that can of worms back then. But I mean, the Blue Sox, I think they've been.
He's like the child in your house that puts the hand in the cookie jar, takes the cookie, and then
Yes, I am. I am definitely I'm definitely a
I didn't do it.
Division One instigator. I am. But
I didn't do it.
You want to pretend you're not a Division One gaslighter. You be gaslighting because she'll say you something and be like, I didn't say that, and it's like you literally just did. And then sometimes she's like, don't put words in my mouth, and it's like, but then you be acting like you don't say what you say. Be crazy. Anyway, off topic.
Blue Sox.
I'm talking this all get out just now. Sorry, everybody. Blue Sox, they've been rolling for sure. I mean, they got Dahlbeck back now. I was talking to Crook earlier this week, who played first base in his absence. Someone was saying like he was getting used to it. He's got to be back in the outfield. I mean, Hamilton's come back down, which that to me is the.
He was in
Him
Saturday.
and Raphael is the most dangerous 1-2 combination I feel like in that
Yeah.
lineup with that speed there, like that speed.
And then you put Valdez right behind them.
Yeah, then you put Valdez, who's been hitting well as always behind them. I mean that 1-2-3 there is definitely gonna pack a good punch. And then it's that thing where, like, as Tracy said to us post game on Saturday, I think it was Saturday. My days always get run together.
Saturday.
It was Saturday, where he was saying like, our lineup was getting a lot of depth, where we even have like great hitters like Crook and Steven Scott at the back end of the order, so we can basically score runs in any inning we want to, as long as the bats are, we're hitting on our game and the bats are knocking, the balls are flying. And then on the other end, the pitching's doing well. I mean, we had Van Bell come in and do his AAA debut and through 5 innings didn't allow a single run. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or I know he left. No,
He
I
left
think
2 runs.
Yeah, he had left the home run, I think, with Almonte. But like besides one home run, let up no runs in a debut of all things. Like that's any time to have the doors open against you and 8 runs be scored. It's your debut. So I mean, between him, Bear Claw, I think it was a couple of scores earlier this week had a
Barracuda had a good week
yeah,
too.
he had,
Yeah.
yeah, it was earlier in the week. He had a no hitter through like 5 innings and then let up like
That was the night
one
that you
home
won.
run. Yeah, it was
Barracuda.
the 4th of July. Yeah, had a no hitter through 5 innings. I mean, they've definitely been rolling on both sides of the ball for sure.
Who got sent up since the game I went to?
Pablo Reyes got
Pablo
sent back
Reyes,
up.
he went back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he came back from rehab and was sent back up. Actually,
You actually broke the news.
yeah, even though no one, I don't think anybody saw that I broke the news because the poor young DJ has 44 Twitter followers.
Two people saw
Yeah,
it.
you know, I had 2 retweets, Tiffany and News Talk New England. So you know, we're trying hard out here in these streets. But yes, Pablo Reyes, as he was leaving, on
It's an intern struggle.
intern struggle. We don't got a lot of people. Tiffany, give out your information to what family?
Pablo Reyes, he went back up. And Yu Chang was Yu Chang in Worcester when Yu Chang.
was
So Yu Chang also went up.
Yu Chang got called up before Reyes, but Yu Chang got called up, and then Saturday, as I saw Reyes leaving the dugout, he was hugging everybody goodbye, and I looked at him. You got called up, and he was like, "Yep, leaving tomorrow." So,
I think that was me that asked him if he got called up.
oh sure, okay.
I just
Tip was there too.
yeah, he was
But
giving
yeah.
everybody a hug and stuff like that, and so yeah.
But yeah, so he got called up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the Red Sox, they've been, especially with all the different ins and outs, they're on pace to break their record for most players used in the season and most like transactions, I think it is.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So but at the same time, they're also on pace for breaking the Boston AAA affiliates record, like not even just Worcester, like, you know, Pawtucket, wherever they've been, record for home runs in the season so far. So despite all the moves, they've been playing very well for sure. No doubt about that.
I remember last year when we were at the final game. It was the final few games that they were just like outside of the playoff picture, and they had to win a few games against the Syracuse Mets in the season finale, whatever it was, and they couldn't get it done. But they were that close to the end of this year. Seeing what they've done this first half of this year, as you mentioned, they have the best set franchise record home runs of the season for a Red Sox affiliate. That's pretty interesting. And obviously, they had a very successful first half, and now in the second half of the season, everybody started with a clean 0-0 record. I'm not sure if that carries into the playoff picture or anything like that, but if it does, then this Wu Sox team is definitely headed for the MILB postseason this year.
Yes.
So,
I think the MILB. It's hard not to say MLB like the regular.
Right.
But I definitely see the playoffs in their future for sure. The way this team's playing, as long as they can keep it up.
got a lot of talent on the team for sure.
Yeah.
Been interesting. Would like to see what they have done this year thus far.
Oh, you know what else they lost? I mean, it was before the 4th of July, but Nico Goodrum did opt out. I don't know if we.
Yeah, Nico
I don't
Goodrum
know
did
if
opt
that's
out.
happened. I don't know if we've talked about that.
I did believe Tiffany brought it up. I was meant to ask.
And
Who was the
I
one
don't
that-
even think he's been picked up.
I haven't heard nothing.
I don't think he's been. He took an opt out. He wanted his release from the Wu Sox. Honestly, I thought he was gonna stay because of the way he was talking to you.
When I talked about his foundation, do good things. He was very on the. I'm taking it day by day in the wherever city I'm in. I'm gonna make an impact. And I was like day by day. I feel like if he was really thinking about getting out, I think he'd voiced it or.
But then when I interviewed him, I think
On
on
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, he said, you know, I'm not gonna be playing this game forever. I'm gonna have a life after this game,
Sure.
and I need to focus on that. So.
It did seem like all signs were pointing towards him staying.
Yeah.
But who knows what could just
I
transpire?
like when like certain players come to Worcester and they end up staying. They become like adopted Worcesterites. We have Marty Gilliard, and then we have Ryan Fitzgerald. You know, people like that. They come to Worcester. Well, no, he goes back to Atlanta.
I don't know, but you definitely said that one day in one of these podcasts.
I think he would be a good adopted Worcesterite.
I feel like he is. Secret. But anyway, any other thoughts on the MILB?
The Hartford Yard Goats. Yep, exactly. Crickets. Crickets. All right, so MILB, Connecticut Sun. We talked about them.
Talked about a lot
I
tonight.
think we covered a lot tonight.
Did. Yes.
We'll go back to the Massachusetts Pirates. Yes. Gotta ask you guys, what is one of your favorite moments during this season with Massachusetts Pirates?
I mean, it was that one game where I was there in person seeing Anthony Russo throw 8 touchdown passes. I don't remember exactly which game it was, but I didn't know he came back here So he threw 9 touchdowns on the road, and then he came back. It was during their 5-game win streak after that loss to Iowa. He had thrown 8 touchdowns at DC. I was like, wow, this is incredible. And we were on the call for that game. I was like, wow, what a performance here by Anthony Russo. And he had such a great season, and it's unfortunate. Tiffany says that he's hurt, and now we have, who's going to start this week in Sioux Falls? We don't know.
Look at him until that he was hurt. It was like, remember the other night we were watching that one play with the Woo Sox, and we could tell he was hurt. We were like, Pablo Reyes. We were like, why is he in there? You could tell he was hurt. And you could tell that about Russo if you go back and watch the film.
Yeah. I feel like favorite memories. I think for me,
Even from the last game, too, with Russo, you could tell.
But yeah, favorite memories for me. I feel like for me personally, it'd just be the interviewing the players. I mean, for me, the most fun I've had is sitting there in between interviews and doing the interviews, and because as much as everybody's like they're athletes, and getting to know them outside of them on the field, and like I said, I like asking like about pregame songs. I remember like Jimmy Robinson talking about NBA YoungBoy, and Anthony Russo was talking about how he listened to Meek Mill. Like that for me,
Would you think somebody like Russo would listen to me? Do you think somebody like me or Russo would be like, I thought it was gonna be like Kane Brown.
See, don't set me up for nothing. See, don't set me up for nothing. He's from Philly, that's why
He's from Philly, that's right.
That's right. Don't
He's got that Philly swag.
And you're not getting me. Try to throw alley-oop, I ain't jumping. But yes, for me, my favorite memories from this would definitely been that. Like just those interviews, Wilson Bell Pond in my head, as much fun as that was, my talks with Benefield. I mean, interviewing Coach Payton, that was, I think top moment would be
the second interview with Coach Payton was good. The first one was good, but the audio was gone.
The first one was amazing. The audio was horrible. That's the issue.
Well, there was no audio.
That's the issue. Is you can watch it, but it was on mute. You wouldn't know what the conversation was about. But that first interview with Peyton here, talking about his mom and him playing piano in the church, like that, I think that part of it was the fun I've had.
And I heard it. The last show that you guys had, he was over here playing the piano.
Yeah, he was.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like I was like that for me, like getting to know these athletes, like on the Mass Pirates, like outside of them just with helmets on a field. I like joke with Calvin, sometimes it's hard to tell who's who when they're all wearing a helmet and they're running around with numbers in their back. So getting to know them as people, in a sense, has been like my favorite part of this for sure.
Well, yeah, that's Calvin. What's been your favorite part of being here playing with the Massachusetts Pirates?
My favorite part is being watching Zico play.
I was really hoping you'd say hitting somebody against the wall, but
Like,
Okay.
You a violent person.
I think that'd be the most fun for me if I played linebacker, just to tag somebody up against that wall.
yeah, I think he's like a walking question mark. I think has NFL talent.
Wow.
Honestly, I don't know what's going on with him. Like, it's a weird situation, but I'm interested in seeing his future for sure.
He's definitely the mechanic of the team. Bringing in those touchdowns and stuff.
Actual mechanic?
He is actually an actual mechanic
was
too,
so
right?
lost.
He is. No, he is an actual mechanic
Wait,
too.
is that okay, that's why I was like,
But he'll joke about that too sometimes. But he's like the mechanic of the team, bringing in those touchdowns, and I think we saw that Saturday night.
yeah.
He brought in that one play, and then he turned it right back around, and I think he got 2-point conversion. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So route running, I like the best characteristics I like about him is the yak yards after catch.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, yes. Very good at that.
You don't really hear too many people say yak. That is. Yes.
All right.
I don't even bite that.
Alright.
Does Derrick Henry have a lot of yak?
No, Derrick Henry has a lot of yards after contact. There's a
I mean,
yak
there is
for you.
a yak. There
There's
you
a
go.
yak for you, yards after contact. You should try it. No, hey, you can diss the king. That's alright, though. That's alright. I don't care if it's just me. I'm the only person on that trade. I will ride that trade with pride into the ground.
I think you are.
I think I am. I
think you are.
I don't care if I'm the only person. I don't care if Tennessee turns his back on him. That is, I feel like until he's out the league, that will, to me, be the best running back in the league.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite moments covering the Pirates this season. Wow.
Excellent. I thought it was something I should say.
It was quite a few moments. I think, where I just enjoyed actually doing the 5th year covering the Pirates. You guys came on, I think, year 3, Year four.
This
Year
is year
four.
2 for me.
You came on in year 4, right?
Yeah, last
You
year.
came on.
Right.
This is you.
I came on what, 2 months ago when I got back.
Well, no, you covered year 4. A couple games on year 4.
That's right. Yeah.
We- When you've covered for all 5 years, I think this year was probably the best year that I liked about the Massachusetts Pirates. So yeah, but favorite moment.
You know what your favorite moment should be? I feel like that report after that lady was going crazy in the DCU section.
She was going crazy.
Cause that's what I
She was going
every my
crazy.
head when me and Tiff were sitting there sideline setting up the post game, and then them fans just.
I would have to say the
shout
pen.
out to, shout out to the security staff.
I'd have to say the panels
Yeah.
because you don't see any other outlet do the panels like we did this year, and that was something new. You know, and that's what News Talk New England and the sports journals. That's what they're all about, is trying things new and I think the panel discussions were very. You were on one of the panels. Were very engaging, very just funny too.
Very fun.
I always like to make sure saying we can talk about the game, but let's make it funny.
Sure.
And definitely the panels were good. I liked that. And then I had an interview at the beginning of the season too, which was really good. So, huh?
I was like, I wasn't here. So I don't
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've
Good
touched
old
up on
college.
we've touched up on a lot here tonight on Monday Night Sports Talk. Anybody else have any final thoughts?
I just want to say, first of all, to you, thank you for allowing me to come back on Monday Night Sports Talk, because this is my last Monday Night Sports Talk.
Oh, surprise!
How about that?
And Mesfin, he liked what you guys had to do the last time, so I'm really hoping you guys, Monday Night Sports Talk has had a lot of hosts, co-hosts, and stuff like that. A lot of guest co-hosts on our show, and
Hold on. Messi realized I am leaving back for college in a month, right?
yeah, I think that's when you guys are going remote.
Oh, we're gonna be.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Lots of work on that.
yeah.
Like the Commodores.
But yeah, I think we've had a total of 6 hosts, and I'm glad that the helm is being transferred over to you guys. So yeah. So it started off me, Jonathan Burgos, and Jose Rivera. Not Jose that's on the board of directors, but the other Jose Rivera.
Okay.
The one who was dancing with a blow up doll in the club the
Oh,
other night.
okay. Anyway, so that's 3. The other 3.
And then before that, you had Meg, Mesfin, and there was a guy that was on Mesfin too. So yeah,
So me and Steven make 7 and 8.
so you guys are 7 and 8.
I call 8.
Get those home runs.
All right, there you go. All right. So, I want to thank Calvin Bundish for joining us here tonight on Monday Night Sports Talk.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck this weekend as the Pirates they go to Sioux Falls to take on the Sioux Falls Storm.
And they will host a playoff game. Let's put it in fruition.
Oh, let's hope so.
So
Let's put it in fruition.
you're gonna stay tuned because we're gonna go out to the turf, and we're gonna see what kind of plays you guys can make on the turf
All right, I
outside.
guess we'll have some bonus footage
All right,
coming up for you.
We got some bonus
Catch up the
footage.
reel. Calling it now. Wayne, catching the reel. All right, you allowed me
So-
up here. I'm gonna get
All right, so we'll wrap it up here. For DJ Harding, for Tiffany Williams, for Calvin Bundage of the Massachusetts Pirates, I'm Stephen R. This has been another very exciting episode of Monday Night Sports Talk. And to steal Tiff's words on her final episode here, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be yourself.
You can go turn it off.
I definitely was about to be like, catchphrase.
We'll take the tripod outside.